Let's talk about the recovery environment. The usual position for the recovery environment partition is right behind the Windows partition. And it's on the same drive that the Windows operating system is on. So personally, I would rather have it on a different drive than the Windows partition. And it can be moved to a different drive. And that's what we're going to look at today. This is some other stuff I've got going, and we'll come back to that. But right now, I need to look at the recovery partition, and I'll need to do that with an elevated command prompt. You can't see the UAC, but it just popped up, and I acknowledge it. What we'll do with this is first we'll open disk part. And we'll list the volumes. Now I have 7 drives on this computer and 20 different partitions. Volume 0 is the DVD drive, and of course it has nothing on it, so it doesn't show up labeled. If I'd stuck a DVD in there, there'd be a label showing, but aside from that, okay, first volume with no label is the EFI partition. With no drive letter. The EFI partition may or may not have a label. It may be just blank here, but it's a system partition. It's that'll be noticeable, and it's smaller than this hidden partition, which is the recovery partition. And down here is my preferred recovery partition, and it is a gigabyte in size. So in order to see what we've got, I've got to give drive letters to those. So we'll select the volume. The first one is volume 11. And it has focus now. And we want to give it a letter so we can see it in File Explorer. Assign letter equal, no space, and I'll give it the letter X. Let's see why. Now the second one is volume 21. That's my preferred. So let's select that volume. Now it has focus. So we'll give that one letter Z. You can see we have Y for this one, and it didn't give me a letter. Let's try that again. Now it's there. Okay. Now we can exit this part. And we can exit the command prompt. Now let's look and see what we have. If it'll let us look. It may not. No. So we'll have to look through the command prompt. So let's do that again. Run as administrator. I often talk about the things about Windows that I don't like and what I change. But I must say that I do like the snipping tool. It is very handy. So let's go to Y and see what it has. It has a recovery directory. So let's try that. And it has a Windows RE in the recovery directory. So let's look at that. And there we have winre.wim. Winre.wim is, where is my, there we go. Winre.wim. That is the necessary file in the recovery environment. Now, let's get out of that and change to Z. And there we have a recovery environment, a recovery folder. And no Windows RE. What has happened is that an installation or an upgrade has elected to move the recovery folder from the my preferred location to the hidden partition right behind the Windows operating system partition. So while we're here, I'm going to make a directory called Windows. So I have a Windows RE. And it's empty. So what we want to do, or what I want to do, is scroll back up here. Let's get back on the Y to Y. There we go. And WinRE-Wim. So what I want to do is copy WinRE-Wim from Y recovery Windows RE to C recovery Windows RE. And I'm going to use Xcopy to do that. Instructions on how to deal with the recovery environment are on my website. And that's here. And it shows you how to create it if you don't have it, how to fix it if it's messed up. These are written instructions. uh, that are fairly easy to follow, I think. I tried to make them so. But that tells us how to do it. So with the Xcopy, we only want to use the H in the R switch. The H switch makes it hidden, and the R switch makes it read-only. So that's what we want to do. So let's see if we'll be able to get that done. Now, we're in Z Recovery Windows RE. So let's back up. And we'll type in Xcopy. Y. And you don't really need capital letters because command prompt is not case specific. Recovery. Windows RE. Win re.wim to the recovery Windows RE and we want to use H and R. If I've done this right, it should work. We'll see. One file copy. So let's go to recovery, Windows RE, and there it is. The /A means to ignore the attributes. And if you notice up here, the first time I didn't put the /A, and so it didn't show me when REWIM. But when I use /A, there it is. So we have what we want, or I have what I want. Let me put it that way. Let me get back out of here. We'll go back to C drive. Reagent C info. Reagent C means recovery environment agent. My phone's making weird noises. So it's disabled right now. But I have a drive letter, so we're going to move it. It's actually reagentc.exe. I usually don't put the extension on. It works without it. I'm saying something my phone is trying to acknowledge. Reagentc set reimage. That's recovery environment image path, and we want it I don't need capitals. I don't know why I do that. Recovery Windows RE. and that was successful. So it's disabled, so let's enable it. Now let's take another look. And we have successfully moved it to hard disk 6 and partition 5. So let's look at this part again. And this volume. And we can remove the letter Y. So select volume 11. Remove letter Y. And let's select volume 21. And remove letter Z. It says Z. We got rid of the Y, so let's try it again. There, I think we got it. Yep, they're all gone. Then we'll exit this part. Oh, I exited this part. 1 minute too early. I want to see the discs. Okay, there's disk 6, where I've moved my recovery environment. Now, let's look at disk management. Again, you can't see it, but I'm acknowledging the UAC. Now, this is where we moved it from. It was here. And this is where we moved it to. So the way to check to find out if it's actually working, I'll have to use settings, Windows Update, Advanced Options, Recovery, and Restart. That'll put me in the recovery environment. But when I do that, I will lose you. So let me say what I have now. Well, you weren't able to see it, but I can attest that the recovery environment is where I want it, and it is working. Unfortunately, the snipping tool is not part of the environment, so I couldn't record it. But I was successful in my endeavors.